So Etsy announced that they're going to be introducing a rating system for their sellers. I had to sit there and kind of weigh that up, how much my time is worth and whether it's literally worth spending half a day a week, half a working day a week, uploading these tracking numbers. My prediction is that they are going to start to rank shops that have this rating, you know, a high rating, higher up in the search results. You've got about 2 to 3 months from this video going up right now to really make sure that you are on it. Welcome to the Handmade Bosses show. I'm Steph, and my mission is to help you start, run, and scale an online handmade business and build a creative life you love. I went from being in a 9-to-5 that I absolutely hated to running my 6-figure handmade business in less than a year. So bosses, let's help you get your amazing products out there and get the sales you deserve. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Handmade Bosses show. So today I did a little breaking news episode for you, all regarding the Etsy Star Seller system. So let's talk about it. So Etsy announced on the 28th of July, which is when the actual article was dated, that they're going to be introducing a rating system for their sellers. Okay. So basically what it means is that coming forward to the Christmas period, they are going to start to kind of give sellers like a rating. So not only a shop rating, but also a seller rating, which is kind of relating to almost you as a person, right? So what they are going to be measuring, and I've actually got the article up in front of me, so I'm going to be referencing that. So we are going to start rewarding sellers with a Star Seller badge, making it easier for shoppers on Etsy to know that you have a proven track record of providing an excellent customer experience. They then go on to say that you do have time to make sure that everything is up together before they start to show that badge to sellers ahead of the Christmas shopping season. So basically, this badge gets reviewed on the 1st of every month. So that's the first bit of good news, because that means that if for some reason you go onto it and you see that you've only got like 30% in one column and 15% in another, let's say, you have time. On the 1st of every month, the slate is kind of like wiped clean for a hot minute, and then they reassess you, okay? So you know that kind of like 1st of September, October, November, that's the kind of time. You've got about 2 to 3 months from this video going up right now to really make sure that you are on it, okay? So they are measuring a fair few things, okay? So the very first thing is response rate. So they want you to respond to 95% or more of initial messages. So it's not the ongoing conversation. So if someone responds back to you and says, "Thank you very much," you don't have to like then respond back. It's the initial messages, okay? You dispatch 95% or more of your orders within your stated processing time and with tracking, or you purchase the postage label on Etsy. Digital orders will not require any of this, okay? So that is a bit of an issue, and I'm going to be going into like what I think about it going forward, okay? Also, they are going to be measuring your 5-star rating. So 95% of your feedback has to be 5-star. Orders, sales, and shop tenure. So you'll also need to have at least 10 orders and $300 in sales before postage and taxes within the 3-month review period and have been on Etsy for at least 90 days. So they're kind of excluding very new shops from this, okay? So the data is updated daily and based on factors you can control. That's what they say. They've also said that the reason that they chose these criteria is that buyers are more likely to come back and shop from you when you dispatch your orders on time, which is kind of like a bit of an obvious one. Sellers who respond to buyer messages within 24 hours are 4 times more likely to make a sale than those that don't. Okay, again, kind of obvious. It does increase your conversion rate. Buyers that leave a 5-star rating are more likely to come back and shop from you rather than buyers that leave lower ratings, which is quite obvious. So let's chat about it and little ways that you can go about it. So the thing with this is that all of these things are best practices to have anyway. Kind of before we had the Etsy ODR rating, which if you don't know, we don't really have to worry about that now. They haven't said whether this will replace it, but it kind of insinuates that it does, right? We never used to know what our ODR rating was. It was kind of like this really like best kept secret within Etsy. Now we do, okay? And it actually gives us like this nice, I'm doing air quotes right now, a little score. Okay, now the very first thing is don't feel bad if you don't score highly. You know, life gets in the way. They have said that they are going to start rewarding sellers with a badge. Now they did say, and I'm looking and I can't currently see this sentence, but they did say that you will be shown higher in search results at some point in the future. So basically all they're saying now is that you will earn a special shop badge. I'm literally reading through it and I read through it before I pressed record and I can't see anything currently where they say that it will increase your where you show in search results, right? However, what they're kind of saying is that you do get an increased conversion rate if you do all of these things. Now, as I said, these are all best practices anyway. And, you know, if you are in the Handmade Bosses Success Academy, or you've been with me for a while, you know that I'm always like, you know what, like if you respond to messages as quick as you can, I'm not saying you have to do it on like weekends, evenings, but, you know, make sure that you don't leave it 5-6 days before you respond to people. And I actually did do a test with this in my shop myself. And, you know, what they're saying is right, that you do get far more orders if you respond to messages quickly, right? Kind of like a little bit of a no-brainer. Dispatch times. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky because for those who don't buy postage from Etsy like me, and also those that don't buy tracked postage via Etsy or via anywhere, this is going to be a bit of a problem, okay? Because what this means is that they're kind of trying to push you into either buying tracked postage through, you know, for example, if you're in the UK, if you use click and drop, it will automatically sync to your Etsy dashboard. If you obviously buy postage directly through Etsy, it will sync to your dashboard. So that's like the first option, is to do any of those things. The next option is to just sit there and input tracking numbers like for 3 hours a week, right? Now, when I very first saw this, I was kind of hoping that they would do one score for getting your orders out on time when you mark it as dispatched, and another score for the tracking, which is kind of what marketplaces like Amazon and eBay do, right? But they're kind of bundling it all into one. So it's kind of like if you're not taking them up on buying their postage or getting tracked postage through a dashboard like click and drop, you kind of have to weigh up how many hours you're going to spend literally typing in tracking numbers. Now, for me, I use drop and go, which means that I get my tracking numbers on a Royal Mail dashboard. I have to log into my account rather than a click and drop dashboard, right? So for me, with the amount of orders that I get, I'm going to be spending literally like 3 to 4 hours a week typing in tracking numbers. And I had to sit there and kind of weigh that up, how much my time is worth and whether it's literally worth spending half a day a week, half a working day a week, uploading these tracking numbers. Now, what I would say is that if in the future they come out and say that it will increase your, where you rank in the search, I would say, yes, it's probably worth doing that. Okay. Or, as I said, you can switch over to the other methods that I said about buying postage through Etsy and what have you. If they don't decide that they are going to, put you in search results based on that rating, then I would be kind of questioning it and saying, okay. Now, obviously, if you've ever got a best seller badge on one of your listings, it's kind of going to be like that. It's kind of going to be like a badge of honor. Now, yes, don't get me wrong that it is going to increase conversion rates on shops, even if, if it does nothing else, if they don't change where you come in search results or anything like that, just be aware that it is going to increase conversion rate. But again, you have to be like, right, if my conversion rate increased by 1%, and by the way, guys, if you have no idea what I'm talking about conversion rate wise, you need to sign up for my free masterclass, the 3-step framework to skyrocket your Etsy conversion rate. The link for that is in the box below. We have been having some great conversations so far on today's episode, but I've got something even more special for you. You know what it takes to be shown on page 1 on Etsy, right? Yep, you guessed it, increasing your conversion rate. My 3-step framework to skyrocket your Etsy conversion rate is my signature free masterclass. And boss, I'm saving a spot for you. Learn how to increase your conversion rate in 3 easy steps, as well as the top 3 mistakes I see Etsy shops make on a daily basis. Sign up in the show notes or head to handmadebosses.com/conversion. That's handmadebosses.com/conversion, CONVERSION, to claim your spot. Now let's get back to the episode, and I can't wait to see you there, boss. But you have to kind of work out that if your conversion rate increases 1%, monetary, how much is that? If it's like an extra $50, for example, every week, every month, is your time worth that? Is the time it's going to take you to input your tracking numbers worth that? One really good way that you can actually combat this is to get less orders, but increase your profits. How can you do that? Well, obviously you can increase your conversion rates, which we talked about that, and that will all be in the masterclass. But also you can actually increase your pricing and really cut down on costs so that you're making more profit per item. So it actually pays you to do this. All right. It pays you to put the time into it. I have got loads of videos on my YouTube channel. And if you join the Facebook group, we chat about pricing. But I do, honestly, guys, I do speak to a lot of you each day, and I work one-to-one with you and in the course with a lot of Etsy shop owners. And honestly, I'm not joking when I mean like 95% of you are undercharging, right? So it's not just about, looking at how much things, cost you to make. It's then your time and adding on time for things like this. Okay. So that's my take on it. I struggle to understand why they can't separate the ratings myself. I'm going to be honest. I've always been honest with you guys. I struggle to see the reason why they haven't done that, but I do understand why they want you to dispatch orders quickly. All right. They also want you to have 95% of your reviews have 5-star ratings, which is kind of a little bit obvious. It's like with every marketplace in the world, the more 5-star reviews that you have, the better. All right. So again, that is going to increase your conversion rate. Now, if you don't have 95% of them as being 5-star feedback, don't worry, because we can always learn from this. And also, the more feedback you get, the more that percentage will get higher and higher and higher if the ones you get after that are 5-star or more, right? And also, they do review this on the 1st of every month. So we have got that playing for us as well. So those are the kind of 3 main things. Now, obviously, it does say orders, sales, and shop tenure. I mean, if you're a new shop, then, you are going to have to wait a bit of time before you qualify for this, okay? So I would say that the top 3 things that you really have to start to pay attention to is your response rate, dispatch times, and your 5-star rating. So there's nothing new being put in here. There's nothing new coming out of the woodwork and they're saying, right, we're going to pay attention to this metric now. These are all best practices. Now, with the response rate, I would say you can put an autoresponder on your messages. Now, they've not said whether this counts towards it or not, but I've started doing it. Okay, so if you go onto your message dashboard, you go onto the top right-hand corner, you will see an auto response function. You can only pop it on for a maximum of 5 days, but I've just set an alarm so that, if someone sends me a message, they automatically get sent one back. And then hopefully they will give us more info as to whether that actually counts against it or not. So, update. I've just found another page from Etsy that they've recently just published today. And it does actually say that auto reply does count against it. So that is great news. It does also say about using saved replies to respond to things quicker. And you can also use vacation mode as well. If you're taking a break and you're like, I don't want to have to respond to messages. Okay. Honestly, guys, I think that a lot of this is best practices to kind of do anyway. I wouldn't say to worry about it too much. Again, you have to weigh up your time and, you know, how long it's going to take you to do things like respond to messages within 24 hours, put in tracking codes and all that good stuff. I do think that eventually, in my personal opinion, my prediction is that they are going to start to rank shops that have this rating, you know, a high rating, higher up in the search results. And I think the reason that they are doing that is to stop rogue Etsy shops, which I know that a lot of you guys have expressed in the past that you hate it when rogue Etsy shops go on Etsy, don't respond back, don't dispatch orders, and then it kind of ruins it for the rest of us who really want to build a business on Etsy. So I think that's why they have done it, okay? One thing I would say to you guys is that they are offering the chance for you to give feedback. So if you go onto the help pages on Etsy relating to this, it does have a link for you to give feedback. It's super important for you to give feedback if you are not happy with anything that I have discussed. Okay, because Etsy doesn't know that you have a problem with it, or you have comments to make, or you don't like it for whatever reason or another, or maybe you do like it. You have to give them feedback. I can't stress how important it is. It's kind of like the whole thing, you know, the saying that goes, if you don't vote, you can't complain, as to how things are being run, all that kind of stuff, right? So it's really important for you guys to make sure that you leave feedback. I will be giving you some updates as things progress. There's not a lot else I can tell you guys from now. I've given you some tips and tricks, ways around it, all that good stuff. But for now, guys, it is something that we are going to have to put into consideration. I honestly don't think that it worried too much of you. When I did a live on my Facebook group, which the link for that will be in the box below, you guys weren't really that bothered about it, to be honest. A lot of you guys were like, well, I've been doing this for the longest time anyway. So it may be, you know, it may not even worry you. You may be sat there kind of saying, well, I've been doing all these things anyway, so I'm not all that fussed. For other people, you may have to pivot and change a few things. And for some shops, you may just think, you know what, I'm not going to change a thing until it starts to affect my shop ranking, and then I'm going to do something. But it's always a good thing to put a plan of action in place, regardless if you're going to do something about it right now or in the future. Make a plan of action, look ahead, see where you can cut hours down so that if you need to put time into this, you can. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this. Give the podcast a review if you did. That would be great. If you're watching on YouTube, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone. We really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to check the show notes for some more helpful links, and also a link to our website as well. Also, you can watch the video version of this over on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to get your free spot on our masterclass, a 3-step framework to skyrocket your Etsy conversion rate, at handmadebosses.com/conversion. That's handmadebosses.com/conversion. We would also love it if you could leave us a review on iTunes, as it really helps us to reach more bosses in need. Subscribe to the show, and we will see you on the next episode.